channel. If this is your first time of seeing my videos, please subscribe and click on the notification bell in order to be able to see future videos that will be posted on this channel. Today, we'll be dealing with a very important topic: indefatigability. Indefatigability is the quality of being determined to do or achieve something. It is the ability of a person to exhibit persistent efforts towards achieving their goals without relenting or tiring. An indefatigable man is immovable, persistent, steadfast, dedicated, tenacious, pertinacious, dogged, determined, and has purpose. An indefatigable person will never stop unless they achieve their heart desires, even in the front of obstacles. Indefatigability is commonly known by everyone as endurance. Endurance is not the same as patience, even though they sound familiar, as both denotes accepting difficulty and tolerating an unpleasant situation. However, they have specific meanings which prove that they are different from each other. Patience is the ability of a person to accept delay or hurt calmly. It deals with the manner in which a person accepts the wrongdoings that are made against him or her. Example, a woman whose husband keeps on offending her and she still maintains the fact that she doesn't want her marriage to crash. So she keeps on taking it in, she keeps on having patience and believing that God will one day change her husband. Endurance, on the other hand, is the ability to bear difficult situations in life. It deals with how you are able to deal with situations without relenting, without giving up. Example, when you are faced with financial problems, you hold on and refuse to give up until your problems are solved. To further help you get the point I'm driving at, let me tell you a little story. One day, Mr. Philip coincidentally met his friend, a good friend of his, a long-time friend, Jonathan. It had been 5 years since they last saw each other. So because of this, they decided to hook up, at least for old time's sake. On the day Mr. Philip met Jonathan again, it was at Jonathan's residence. And there he realized that Jonathan was now a very rich man. So as they started discussing and hooking up for old time's sake, they discovered that Mr. Philip was now things were not going well with him. Things were just so bad for him. Mr. Jonathan was, however, very sad about this. Mr. Philip on his own couldn't even wait because he had to ask his friend for help, as he wanted his friend to help him become as rich as he is. Mr. Jonathan didn't waste a second to agree to help Philip. And then, as they discussed further about the next step to take, Mr. Philip realized that the source of wealth of Jonathan was not a legitimate one. He was sad, but after some thoughts, and after realizing that there is no way out for him, he agreed to indulge in that fraudulent activity. On his first business trip of transporting cocaine, it was very successful. And of course, he made millions of commission from that particular business transaction. Philip was very happy. He was gracious. He was appreciative to his lovely friend, because very soon he would join the League of Millionaires as his friend. Unfortunately for him, on his second trial, he was caught by law enforcement agencies and charged to court. When Jonathan heard about this, he immediately escaped without thinking, as he wouldn't want to be involved in the crisis. Mr. Philip was, however, sentenced to death by hanging, and that became the end of his lovely life. 2 months later, a very wonderful appointment letter of a good paying job was released on his behalf. But unfortunately, he was not there to experience it. From the story I have just told you, it is obvious that Mr. Philip lacks the quality of endurance. He was not indefatigable enough to wait on God's time. He knew that the business was risky, but he indulged, he took the risk, despite the fact that the business was against the law. In his impatience, he lost his life. Regret, they say, usually comes at last. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 13 says, "No temptation has overtaken you, but as so is common to man. But God is faithful. He will not let you go through something that you cannot bear. But whenever you are tempted, He will always make a way out so that you will be able to endure it. Life is full of temptations and tribulations. Most times, this comes like a puzzle which must be solved whether you like it or not. Your ability to solve that puzzle is the one thing that makes you truly human. And the only way to face it is by solving it. Therefore, because if you don't solve it, if you don't face it outrightly, you will not be able to move into the next level in life. Most times we keep on experiencing problems upon problems, especially financial problems. It gets to an extent where we begin asking ourselves questions like, why me? Why are others succeeding and I am not succeeding? Why are my mates making it and I am not making it? Why can't I become like others? But the truth is that the solution is near, just very near, only if you can endure a little longer. Endurance is not only about bearing a hard circumstance in your life, but also about staying long enough to turn that hard circumstance into glory. So, our lives, all our lives, we have been tested. Our courage has been tested. Our strength has been tested. Now, our patience and endurance are being tested. As a youth, especially one living in one of the underdeveloping countries, where the government cares less and unemployment is the order of the day, life can be very, very unbearable. This has forced a lot of people to engage in fraudulent activities in order to make ends meet. The truth is that there is always a way out. You can still make it through honesty and hard work. Many have been killed and others jailed. Many will be killed in the future because they decided to make it through dubious means. The truth is that you have an option, and that option is endurance. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 says, you need to endure so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. When we endure the circumstances around us and refuse to indulge in fraudulent activities like other people, a time will come when our blessings will be just like the oceans. It will be so massive that we will not be able to count it. All you need is to just endure a little longer, just a little time longer, and the result will amaze you. Just endure a little time, and the result will amaze you. Always know that success only comes to those who work for it. Money will come at the right time. Don't let anybody deceive you into thinking otherwise. The Lord purposely conceals the future because He knows that the wicked will try to put it to their own advantage if they discover that they will be doomed in it. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says, I alone know the plans I have for you, plans of good and not evil, to give you an expected end. If you wait a little longer, then you will see God's plans begin to unfold. You have to trust in Him. You have to believe that He is there for you. You have to believe that He is going to solve that your problem. You have to, because His plans are far better. Because He uses the foolish things of this world to turn the wise into foolish people. My dear, just wait a little longer. His blessings truly and slowly comes slowly, but it is surely. And when it comes, it has come to stay. There is nothing like coming and going. No, God's blessings added no sorrow. It comes and it comes to stay. All you need to do is to start from somewhere. Do not despise the days of little beginning. Just start somewhere, and from there, God is going to bless you massively. So, my brothers and sisters, don't soil your hands. Don't soil your hands because of your present circumstances. Because your present has nothing, can never be compared to the glorious future ahead of you. If only you can see beyond, you would understand that the present has no relationship with the future. A lot of people has been glorified from a nobody to a somebody. What makes you think that you will remain in your circumstance? You can grow beyond it. All you need is to have faith in God. Don't join those who use shortcuts, because shortcuts always catch up with those who indulge in it. Don't feel intimidated by those who have made it through dubious means, because their judgment day is fast approaching. Just give it a little time, coupled with hard work and trust in God. Trust me, money will come at the right time. and everything, all your worries will be solved. Everything will fall into place. Thanks and God bless.